Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akhnakwath out there, showing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, This Music Has Gotten Out of Control. Alright, this music has gotten out of control. And this is something that I guess it's been out for a little while. I actually ended up finding a Instagram video, and I screenshotted it earlier today, so I could remember which one to pull up when I get home. And I've had the video saved for like I don't know, a couple days, 2, 3 days, something like that. And they removed the video, right? Probably because of the comments. I wish I would have been able to screenshot some of the comments before they actually removed it. Um, so I wasn't able to get that video, but it was basically the original video was, the streamer IShowSpeed reacting to this video because I guess he's called out by name in this little music video. Now, I may or not play it. Like I said, it's Sabbath, and really, I might play it just because it's pertaining to a lesson, but probably just a little clip, not a whole bunch of music playing, but just a little clip that to show you what he says. But it's just it was really vexing when I heard it because through the years, if you've been in this truth for some time, we've heard plenty of songs. I'm trying to just think about all of them. We've heard Hood Rats, Sukion and Sexy Red. We've heard before that. We heard they had one a little RT, and he had a song about. I made a listen about him a long time ago. But yeah, he came up with that song 60 Miles. Um, and he was like a little kid, right? And you can see just some of the lyric, if she ain't sucking, it, little bitch. You can get the fuck up out my shit, hunt her around, hit him with a Glock, take a fucking out. I'll play a little clip of it just to show you. Like I said, I don't want to play too much music, but just to show you, this little kid.
If you ain't suck a dick, little bitch, you can get the fuck up on my shit. Hunt around, hit him with a Glock, take a fucking dog. Hunt around, bitch, we in that kill, we gon' take him down. Fuck.
So, I mean, the flow, he's got pretty good flow, but I mean, he's not writing that. Somebody wrote that for him, and somebody writing some lyrics like that for a kid, it was scandalous shit. So we heard that. We heard big one that Elder Manath was out by the brother down in South Carolina out there. Beloved brother down there, great brother, and he did a lesson on. I don't remember who made the song, but it was that lady that said, what was it? She did. It was the fucking down to Planned Parenthood. Um, Baby Daddy Free. Baby Daddy Free. I ain't got no ninja baby daddy side of me. Or something. I don't remember the fucking lyrics. I ain't got no ninjas baby inside of me. I don't remember the exact lyrics, but I'm thinking there was another one too. There's another song. Thinking there was another song. I can't necessarily think which one it was. But there's a lot, right? So what I'm getting at is over the years, we hear like each song is more wicked than the other. And now we got this one. Apparently, I guess this now it says 11 months ago, but that's from the Luray Archives. Apparently, I'm guessing by the video speed, it's about 2 years ago. I didn't know it was 2 years ago. I guess it's just a clip that's recently resurfaced. But 2 years ago, and now we got this shit Luray canceled. Now I heard this, I said, "Wow." I I'm very surprised because I didn't like I said, it's some wicked shit. Okay. And as we keep going on and getting closer and closer to the end, things are just going to get more and more wicked. It really is. It's like you think, and but at the same time, you know it's going to get more wicked. But when you hear a song, you're like, God damn, can a song even get more wicked than this? Because you can't even conjure up some wickedness like that, right, in your mind, like some shit that they be saying. Now, I wouldn't even think someone would ever say that in a fucking song, and someone says it in a song, right? So every year the music gets worse, man. I don't even know what the next. I mean, the next. I don't even know. I don't even know. Right. And there's underground music. You had death metal back in the day, and they talked about, having sex with dead bodies and doing all sorts of weird shit. But I'm not giving that music a pass. But that music, death metal, people are like, oh, death metal, it was basically the same as a horror movie, right? You had song titles like Chopped into Pieces. There was a song by Cannibal Corpse. So that, that's all music sounds like, right? All that type of crazy growling shit, right? That extreme heavy metal, not like Slayer or heavy metal, but I mean heavy metal. Most Jake don't even know about that type of music. Tell you who's into that music heavy though is Northern Kingdom, specifically Gad. Gadites love that fucking heavy metal. I like heavy metal. I used to listen to that shit. I like all music pretty much. I used to like death metal, heavy metal, jazz. Not the biggest fan of electronic music, but I like some house music, rap music, uh, acid house, some of the acid house for electronic music, older country, some not too big a fan of R&B, but there are R&B songs that I do enjoy. Older stuff like Luther Vandross, funk, Parliament, all those, Earth, Wind and Fire, the disco era. I like all types of music, right? The only real music that I don't really fuck with is like modern country. I don't really like the modern boom clap. Robin Bam. I don't fuck with that shit, right? I don't want to sing too much because it's sad, but I don't really fuck with that shit. I like all sorts of music, but the music now has gotten completely crazy. Like with death metal, yeah, that's basically like you have a song. There's like I said, there's a band called Cannibal Corpse. They had a song called "Stripped, Grape, and Strangled," and it was basically you know, a horror movie song. It's basically a song in the form of like a horror movie, right? It's just a terrifying situation, right? But what's going on now is like, and none of those guys were like, they have no songs about that. None of those guys are really doing that. At least most of them weren't. It was just, shock music. You have these rappers now, and what they rap about, they're really doing those things, right? Yeah, that song with King Von. He said, "Hit him in the arm, hit him in the leg, all right, hit him in the thigh, all right." He really did that shit. That's not a horror movie. That's not like that's a music representation of Boys in the Hood. No, it's some stuff that you really did. Okay, like you really went and did that, and now you're singing about it. Or people that sing now, like back in the day, there was a lot of cap and rap. All right, like NWA, they talked about shooting at people and hitting, and killing people. They never did that. They never did that, right? That is as far as from the research that I've heard, the only one that was really banging in that crew was Eazy-E. All right, and that was it. And how much he was banging, who even knows? But he was only really self-proclaimed Crip for real. All right, in NWA. So a lot of that music was cat, but now you have these drill rappers, saying, "I walked upon your mama's house. I threw a rock through the window. I shot your little sister when she was out at the park." They really did that shit. They're really talking about some shit that they did with that drill rap, right? And so the music's gotten so out of control, and it's getting more wicked and wicked and wicked. You just never know what to expect next, right? So this is second Edris 5-1 through 5-2, and like I said, we don't our minds can't conjure the most, wicked song that's coming out next. We don't think about stuff like that. So when we hear it, we're like, damn, how much wickeder can you get than that? And then it always goes to surprise us. It's like, damn, that's a nasty fucking lyric. That's an evil ass lyric. What the fuck? Who'd even think to say something like that? Like this lyric that we're gonna get in here. And I'll just warn you ahead of time, it's a homosexual lyric, right? The whole thing is homosexual. But I was like, when you hear it, you're like, what the fuck? Who would think to? I didn't know gay guys were rapping now. I had no idea because you had Lil Nas X, but this is on a different level. So second Esdras 5 and 1 through 2, it says, Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. A lot of people are going to die. And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity is sin upon sin, wickedness, right? But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So anything that you've seen in the past, it's going to be more wicked than that. What you're seeing now, there's going to be stuff coming that's more wicked than that. You're waiting for the wicked train to roll out. All right, with a new shipment of wickedness that's more wicked than last week's wickedness, and it's hard to fathom because our brain doesn't work like that. It's not like we don't sit around thinking about what's the most wicked lyric I could come up with, right? And some of these people, they're not thinking of what's the most wicked lyric they could think about. This is just how they live. They just live so wickedly that that's how their music comes off as. Whether it be music about killing people or adultery or homosexuality or whatever it so be, right? It's not that they're sitting there, let me think of the most wicked lyric. It's that the way they live promotes lyrics to come about that. Like, I don't live a life where I'm going to say, oh, I hit him in the eye, watch his brain squirt, put him in the dirt. I'm glad that the ninja's dead. Fuck him. I watched the brain leak out his head, squirt him up, make him red, make him wet. All right. I left a bullet hole up inside his fucking neck. All right. I'm not going to conjure a lyric like that because that's not the life that I live. All right. We don't live like that. All right, so we're not going to come up with lyrics like that. We're not going to be thinking. And the songs are catchy. There's songs that and you separate the beat because Jake, we like the beat and the flow, but we're not getting too involved in the lyrical themes. Because all the lyrical themes is wicked. You know, there's a lot of catchy songs out there. I don't even like to sing. I like Kodak. He has that. He says, "I'm a healthy kid. I smoke broccoli," right? And it's like that's catchy song and it's good wordplay, but he's talking about smoking weed, man. That's not something you're supposed to be doing. So we're not going to rap about that. We don't even rap. First of all, if we rap without anybody knowing. All right, we don't publish it. We rap for fun. We might spit on a beat, record it for ourselves, and that's it. Right? There's people that rap for fun. I at least know of one guy that does it. Um, but I used to rap and stuff. I think every Jake at one point everybody wanted to be a rapper, right? So, but and it's just it's just one of those things where there's a lot of these things we couldn't even fathom. Okay, and even if we're rapping on our little own thing that we do, right? And again, not trying to be in Hollywood. It's just for fun, right? You throw on a little YouTube beat, right? A tight beat, and you rap over. I've done it. I've put a little songs together, and then half the time I don't even record. I'm like, all right, have my little fun with it, right? And like I don't take it seriously. Like I used to take it serious. I can't even rap as good as I used to because I don't pursue it. There's no, if you can get fun out of it, get fun out of it. No need to record it. No need to put it out there. No need to try to get a label. Look, we serve you how about you, I'm shy, right? So, and even like I said, if we were to rap, we're not gonna make no. I hit him in the arm, hit him in the leg, right? We're not gonna sing stuff like that. We're gonna sing, normal stuff, not about wickedness. Okay. Um, But I'm gonna play this, all right, and I'm gonna let you see it. Let me get to the part where they start singing. And again, I don't want to play too much. I might skip around because again, it is Sabbath. I don't want it, to get too caught in anybody's head. And Sabbath is about standing for pleasure. So music can be enjoyable and pleasurable. So I try not to do it too much. But just the nature of the lesson, I do want to show a little bit of it, just so you can understand what's being said. So I'll show you a little bit of how it goes, and right in the middle of the lyric, he goes crazy. But anyways, and I'm using this as a fair use. Okay, I don't own it. All right, I'm not making money off this. I don't put ads on there. It's literally just for review. I'm allowed to do that legally under the Fair Use Act. So don't try to take the video down. Don't try to flag it. All right, I literally make no money off this. It's just for criticism. All right, what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to do reaction videos. That's allowed. All right, but every time we do it in the truth and add the Bible on top of it, they want to take us down. That is. So here you go. The song's called "Canceled." This guy Larray and Twams. I don't know. Here you go. Let's skip a little bit, but here you go.
Let's start with Aiden Ross. Pay me, baby, what he lost. Acting like a fruitcake. You bought him for Andrew Tate.
Now moving on a dream, face reveal made me scream. In that cheap ass mask, giving personally the scene. But word to S&P.
Up next is Ice Show Speed. Steady twitching, but can't even stream. Dick riding more than me when it comes to Ronaldo. Starting to think soccer ain't the only ball you like, ho.
So you can already tell right off the bat, these guys are, they got a lot of sugar in the tank, right? As Elder Nakazatba would say, he said, that boy a little sweet. They're a little sweet. But there's a part in here, specifically, that I want to get to.
But plug. Fruity.
Pokey stay crying, damn girl, you need a hug.
Kai. SZA. Never gonna smash.
And you're going to know the part, right? You're going to know the part.
All day, bet you made a lot of cash. But when the last time that you went and watched that ass?
Watch that ass, take a bath. That brave.
They're twerking like girls. They're acting just like girls, man.
Log off, touch grass.
George, you nothing but a twink, that's the gag. Let me take a bar off just to laugh.
Here we go.
Thank you, Nikki.
Hey, that's right, man. Fuck it up.
Okay, let's go. Who the fuck tryna nut in my butt? Bitch. Pipe so deep, feel it all in my
hold on, best friend.
What?
What the fuck was that?
Fuck tryna nut in my butt. Bitch. Pipe so deep, feel it all in my
on, best friend.
So he said, who the fuck trying to nut in my butt, pipe some dick, fill it all up in my gut? Or whatever the fuck he said. What was it?
Okay, let's go. Who the fuck tryna nut in my butt? Bitch. Pipe so deep, feel it all in my gut.
On, best friend.
Yeah, pipe some dick, fill it all in my gut. It's so... that, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Like, that's... I'm at a loss for words, really. Like, when I heard it, I was like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I'm just let it sink in with y'all for a minute, because that's just... I don't even know, man. I'm trying to think of any other lyric I've ever heard. Like, I know there's been other gay music and stuff, but this is extreme, man. It's just extreme. It's just extreme. Cause like I showed it to my girl and she said, it's basically like they're trying to do like that female rapper stuff, right? Where they say all that overly sexual, like, oh, he put this in me, he put that. I'm trying to be as Sabbath friendly as possible regarding this subject, but oh, he put this in me, he did this on me, or you had that sexy red song, he put a perk in my booty or something, whatever he fucking said. And you're like, what the fuck? So like, you got gay guys now that are singing about homosexual acts, like as if they're female. Oh, who tried nut in my butt? What the fuck? You know, that's like something that you never even fathomed. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, this one doesn't surprise me too much because it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before we started getting, more gay rappers. Like I said, I don't know. I guess these guys are popular to some extent, but I've never heard of them. So they must be popular in some scene. But yeah, this music has gotten out of control, as the title of the lesson is. It's gotten out of control, and man, we just can't wait to get out this place, right? We can't get out of this place. We can't wait to get out this place. Timothy 3 and 1 or 4. We hate this place, man. All right, nobody wants to die like a horrible death. This guy actually came into my job. He's the older Edomite guy, actually, and I talk to him about certain stuff sometimes because he's a little bit in the know. He's one of those Edomites that's in the know. So he talks about 1948ers controlling everything, certain stuff going on with the world, the manipulation of the world, and the government's control over everybody, and how he talks about some deep stuff like that about how it's just a shadow state of Israel, really, this place is, and then, but all this stuff. But he said, the news is just so damn, fucking negative these days. Everything in this world is just so negative because things have just gotten out of control. And he said something, and I liked it. And I guess he said it was from a song, and basically he said, yeah, things are whatever. I guess he said, sick of living, but too afraid to die. And I said, that is basically the way, and it's not like the afraid of death because, of course you're going to go to Yahweh Shai Shai. It's the act of how you go. All right. And, leaving behind family and, it's kind of a sad event, but when he said it, he said, oh, how's it going? Oh, too sick of living and too afraid to die. I'm like, damn. And it just makes you think that's basically how it is. You don't want to die, but you also don't really want to live. You're in the state of just like, ugh, this fucking place, man. You just want, and you don't want to die, right? We don't want to die. Right? That's not something we want to do. We want to be translated. What we want is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to come back and to never taste death and just be translated. Nobody wants to die, right? So that's how it is. Too sick of living and too afraid to die. Right? So that's why we don't want to die. We want Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to come back, and we want to be translated, not have death ever touch us. And because this place, man, like I said, we're just ready to go. This place is, and there ain't nothing here. Like I made the lesson, there ain't really nothing here worth living for. All right, this truth, that's it. But there ain't really nothing here worth living for. I mean, like what, a Burger King burger and some video games and like football. There's no reason to live. I mean, we live for Yahweh Shemi Shai. We keep on keeping on. We don't want to die either. All right, of course, because we want to be translated. We're living for Yahweh Shemi Shai and in hopes of being saved. That's it. It's the only reason to live. And to serve Yahweh Shemi Shai and to keep on hanging on so we can get out of here on those chariots. But there's not really a reason to live. There's, you know, not really. It's not, you'll probably never own anything. All right, you'll never have. This isn't our rest. All right. And even if it was our rest, it would be one shitty one. All right. Like it's Esau's rest right now. And look at how it's not even going that great for him. Right. It's not even worth resting in. All right. Like the lesson, it's not even worth being your rest. All right. The rent's too damn high. The rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high. The fucking food is too damn high. The jobs are fucking bullshit. You don't get enough sleep. All right. Can't enjoy your kids. Can't enjoy your wife. All right. All the TV's filled with indoctrination. You go and turn on something. All right. You go and turn on a song. All of a sudden, it's who the fuck's trying to nut in my butt. Or you go and turn on a song and there's like a fucking 2 minute gay sex scene. Like, what the fuck is this? Or you got some like just other wickedness going on, man. Or idolizing like drug dealers or something. You're like, fuck, man. Can I just watch a show? And fuck, I get it, man. I'm kind of like that. I feel like those old men that are just stuck in their way. I'm just gonna watch old shit. I'm just gonna play old shit. I'm gonna play old video games. I'm gonna play old movies. I'm gonna listen to old music where they didn't put so much of that fucking indoctrination into it, and it sounded better anyway. Right? If I want to play a video game, I want to turn on and play a video game where I'm playing a video game. I'm not playing a fucking agenda, man. I want to play a video game where I go and I do some quests, right? I get some things, in Call of Duty. I mean, it still glorifies killing or whatever. Back in the day, you have some stuff, and you shoot the bad guys, or Halo, or you play whatever game your game is. Now it's like you go to play a game and like one of the characters is gay and they want to romance your character and you have to turn them down, and then the lead king he has a gay daughter. It's like, can I just play the game? Can I just play a fucking game, please? You know, or you go to watch a movie and halfway through it's like talking about the struggles of being gay. I'm like, bro, like, or feminism. It's like, these men, all these men do. It's like, can I just watch a fucking show? Can it just be a show? Can it just be about, I don't know, snakes on a motherfucking plane? Can it just be Anaconda, right? About a fucking, can it just be Jaws? It's a fucking shark in the water, all right, that's killing everybody. Can it just be something like that? Can it be fucking, I don't know, the Fast and the Furious? Can it just be some cars that are racing? Why does it have to be I watch a show and all of a sudden it's got to give me a fucking lowdown of fucking politics? Right? It's got to give me the down of like why it's bad to be Republican or Democrat or to be gay or to not to be gay. Look, can we just have a show that's not focused on not being gay or whatever relationship? All right, and you thought, oh, you're homophobic. I don't even like straight sex scenes in my shows because what the fuck is that point? Can we just have the show? Can it just be a show? All right. Everything now is like everything's just wicked. It's gotten wicked as hell, and you can't even damn hardly enjoy even a TV show because especially if a new TV show comes out because you know you're gonna the instant thought is like, okay, is it gonna be have some fucking weird shit in it? All right, and they'll throw it in like there was back in the day they had show, and it's not condoning it, all right, but there was ways that they had it, and I've talked to people about it. There was ways that like gay people were in shows that portrayed them normally, right? That portrayed them normally, and they were just normal like people in the show. They didn't like have to like do too much. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard to explain, but they weren't like overly overboard with it. You know, like they didn't have to make it like, hey, Jim, did you? It's like the same. Imagine if they did straight people like they do gay people on the show, right? Did you know I'm straight? Oh man, I sure do love being straight. It's just these gays. They're all doing this. Straight. It is so great to be straight. And I had straight sex with my wife, and it was just great sex, great straight sex with our straight family. And that's what they do, man. They're like, oh, we're so gay. I can't even think straight. This, and that. It's like, look, dude, I don't hang around a lot of these tutti frutti ass motherfuckers anyway, so I don't even know. But I mean, there was one guy at my job, and he really was legitimately like that. He just all he talked about was being gay. So maybe they are like that, but it feels like a character. It feels like a overboard. It feels like goddamn, like nobody can really be like this, right? Nobody talks about being gay this much, right? They push it in the TV shows, but I don't know. He did. One guy at my job, he fucking did. So maybe they're all like that, but it's hard to like watch anything. So you're constantly in a pissed off state here because you just want to watch something, and if it's not about being gay, it's like they have things trying to be overly Jake, and it's disingenuous, right? They're not putting our people in movies to like actually just have Jake film. It's not like My Wife and Kids, right? It's not like Martin. It's not like fucking Family Matters. It's like they try to overly portray blackness, right? Anyway, rant over, but it's just shit's gotten just out of hand. Everything's got out of hand. The music's especially got out of hand. And this place ain't even worth resting in. And everything's just wicked now, and all they do is wickedness. Can't enjoy any of the media, can't enjoy nothing, and you just want to get out, right? You just want to get out. You just want this place to be done because it's ugh, right? So let's get here. We're in Second Timothy 3, and it should be 3 and 1 through 4. And it reads, Slakia, 2 Timothy 3 and 1, first verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. So in times coming, there's going to be some evil things that are going on. Terrible times. There's going to be some harm, some people dying, right? Terrible things. Why? For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. When you go into that natural affection, that means without a natural affection is for a woman to want a man and a man to want a woman. Okay, and there's another scripture that talks about this. How's it go? It says, for this cause, the Most High gave them over to a was it unseemly? Not convenient. Right here. This is it's Romans 1:26, 27. So yeah, Romans 1:27. This is dealing with homosexuality. A lot of people, when you talk about Leviticus and mention, a man shall not lie with another man, they'll say, "Oh, man's referring to a small child." You're not supposed to get with a small child anyway. But you can't refute this. But they try to say, oh no, it means edophilia with a P in front of it. It doesn't mean homosexuality. No, it does. It can't be being either of them. But that's speaking of homosexuality, but you can't do that other one either. So Romans 1:27, it says, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, yeah, there it is, receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meat, which was meat. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, boasters, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, whom knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So not only do they do those things, they have pleasure in them. They know that the Most High will kill them for it. They don't give a shit. All right. Not only do they know that they're worthy of death, they have pleasure in doing it. I'm gonna do them anyway, right? But yeah, no, gave him over to a reprobate mind. All right. And yeah, man, they know. But like it goes back to in 31, without natural affection. Without natural affection, a natural affection is for a man to like a woman. It's not natural affection for a woman to like a woman or a man to like a man or a man to like a little boy or a little girl, all right, or a woman to like a little boy or a little girl, right? That's not a natural mindset, all right? That's not supposed to be happening. So without natural affection, truth, so that's dealing with homosexuality. That's why I got the scripture over here. Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So this is, this is the end days, and there's going to be wickedness that happens to people, more wickedness that happens to people because of their actions, right? Because there's people out there that probably really love this song. All right, they think, oh, I like that. That. Yeah, I like that. That's a good song. It's not a good song. It's an evil song, right? It's ridiculous, and it's not even good. They're not even good at rapping, right? They're not even good at it. So, not that it would make a difference if they were good, but at least you say, okay, at least it's catchy. I mean, sure, just because something can be an earworm, it's so odd. Is it audacious? Is that how they say it? Or audacious? Audacious? Audacious, I think. Because it's so audacious, yeah, who the fuck trying to nut in my butt? Yeah, you're gonna be like, fuck? That might be stuck in your head for a little bit. You're like, man, that's crazy. But it's not like because it's a good lyric. It's not like someone spit something hard and you're like, damn, that's a good ass lyric, right? Um, nope. It's just I'm trying to think of a lyric that was actually a good lyric, but I can't think of one. It's good. Hmm. There's a lot of good comparisons in rap songs. All right. Um, Playboy Cardi had one. I can't remember it, but that's an earworm because it's catchy. But it wasn't even wicked. I remember he said something about because Larry, something about Bird like I'm Larry, like talking about Larry Bird. But Isaiah 5:20. Anyway, getting a little rambly. Slovakia. That's how it is with these late night lessons. But Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." So a lot, these people are into that. There's a lot of people out in the world that are gonna like that lyric. All right, they're gonna say, "I like that lyric. I like it." All right, men. All right, women. All right, everybody. All right, they might not even have to be gay. They might just, be down with the song. All right, and it's goofy. All right. But it's a goofy lyric, but it's nothing I'm gonna crave to go and listen to. It's just It's it's catchy in a way, right? Because it rhymes, but you ain't gonna see me cruising down the street listening to Who the Fuck Trying to Nut in My Butt. Hell the fuck no. Nope, not gonna happen. Right? You'll put this song on, cuz who the fuck trying to nut in my butt? Yeah, nope, nope. Ain't nobody playing that fucking song. You shouldn't even be playing. You shouldn't even be jamming out to that in the comfort of your own home. That's nope, no thank you, no sir. So Matthew 24 and 37, and all these people, look, they're going to do wickedness, um, and that's just how they're going to be, right? As we got in Isaiah 5 and 20, woe in them that call evil good and good evil, right? We'll go back. Or did I get it? Did I not get it? I might not have got it. No, I did get it. I did get it. Man, I'm getting tired. I can't even remember. Isaiah 5 and 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So everything wicked these people call good, they love it. They love it, right? And you try to tell these people, these jakes to repent. Hey, repent. You're being wicked. Stop being involved in all this wicked shit. You need to turn back. And they don't care, right? And because they think that Lord's never going to do anything. They're comfortable right now, right? They're in their rest. They're comfortable. They don't want to like they don't want to change because they're in their rest, right? They like it here, just like the people, right before Noah's Ark and the flood. All right, so I wanted to get that, and we're going to close out with that. Matthew 24 and 37, it says, and this is red letter, so this is Yahushua speaking, the one that worldly calls Jesus Christ. His real name is Yahushua. Okay, that is the true name of the son of Yahweh, not God, Yahweh. He has a name as well. He said, "Tell them I am hath sent you." Okay, so when Moses was asking, who shall I tell these people, who their God is? How am I going to tell them what your name is, Lord? He said, "Tell them I am has sent you." All right, I am that I am. All right, so go and tell them that I am has sent you. And um, I am, or it goes back. He's only I am to him. All right, you are only I. Someone else wouldn't call me I. They would say you or he, right? For me, I'm only I to myself. Like I went here. They're not gonna say, "Oh, I went to the store." They're gonna say he went to the store, right? Referring to me. So he is, all right. He exists is in Paleo Hebrew, the original script, Lashon Kodash, the original Hebrew, not the one that we got now. All right, is he is Yahweh. All right, he exists, the existing one, Yahweh. Okay, and the Son's name, Yahweh Shai. All right, which means the deliverer. He is the deliverer. All right, the one who delivers. All right, so and when you translate with the modern Hebrew, it messes things up. All right, you're gonna get things like Jehovah or uh, Yahuwah or Yeshua or Yahweh. You're gonna get different names because there's or Jehovah, because there's different the way the structure of modern Hebrew is different. All right, and for example, modern Hebrew has a V sound where wa sound should be. All right, the Paleo Hebrew, the original Hebrew, there was no V sounds. It was what. All right, so you'll hear Jehovah or Jehovah. There was no Jehovah. All right, and there was no J's, so it would have been the closest it would have been, and still incorrect translation would have been uh Yehovah. All right, and that's not it either. It's Yahweh. All right, so you just got to make sure you're translating it right. And there's breakdowns on that, plenty of that if you're still tossed up on that and still trying to learn. But it's just you got to get it right. Okay, so and continuing on, but yeah, man. So just the same way people back then were not they're not with it. All right, um they're not with the Lord. They don't want to hear anything about the Lord. They were in the days of Noah, um they were comfortable, right? They thought Moses. I say Moses. I might have get Moses and Noah confused. I might have. Anyway, I went on a tangent. Slocky, like I said, these late night lessons. But anyway, Moses, Noah, obviously different people. But I want a tangent. No, anyway, but Noah, um, But as the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. If you go into the script and go back, and most people know the story of Noah's Ark. All right. Um, no, Lord told him, nope, start making an ark. All right, there's going to be a flood, and being that there was barely even a lot of rain, these people say, man, it doesn't even rain like that. Why are you going to even? What are you even going to do? Like, what do you need this boat for? There's going to be a flood that comes and take us all away. You're never going to be able to get that boat off the ground, Noah. There ain't no water around here. What are you going to do? Right? And because they were comfortable, like it says, let's continue on. But like I said, that's how I went on the tangent. I didn't want to. I was like, was I getting Moses and Noah confused? No, it's red letter. That's how I went in red letter talking about Yahushua, and then I went in on a tangent on the name and the origins of the name. So Slovakia, like I said, I can get a little rambly and lose my train of thoughts when it's this late. It's almost 3 a.m. So Matthew 24:38. So as the same way those people were in that day of Noah, all right, saying, oh, Noah, you're crazy, man. You're building a boat for no reason. There ain't even no water around here. What do you like? It hasn't even sprinkled. We haven't even seen any sprinkles until it starts sprinkling. Then they start to get afraid, all right? But right now they're comfortable. So Matthew 24:38 says, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noe, his name was changed to Noah, entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So that's how it's going to be. People are going to be like, oh no, you keep on saying this about, feminists or women or homosexuals or whatever you want to say. And, you guys have been saying that. And cool, right? It's the same. You guys are the same way as it was with Noah. Say, hey, it's going to flood, guys. No, you're crazy. It's not going to flood. The Lord told me it was. He said he's going to flood this place. I would really recommend, like, being ready and getting on this ark when it comes time. Ark, I know, man. It's just a boat, man. There ain't no water in here. I know. No, I'm telling you, it's really gonna happen. The Lord told me it's gonna happen. No, it ain't gonna happen until those raindrops started hitting. Then y'all asses got scared. All right, now, Noah, let me in, please, man. I really believed you. I always really did believe you, man. No, I don't even know. No, I just said that to fit in. I really did believe you, Noah, all along. I really did, man. I knew you were doing. I thought you were a cool guy. Nah, man, don't switch up now, right? And they're banging and banging. The Lord wasn't having none of it. Didn't have any of you, right? Didn't let a single one of you on. Drowning, that's a terrible way to go, man. Drowning, terrible way to go. Lord willing, I hope to never experience it. And may you brothers and sisters out there, may you never experience it either. Terrible way to go. Or burning or any of those terrible judgments. Oh, horrible. Horrible, man. And especially to have, the Lord have a situation like that where you see your life vessel, right? That Yahweh Shem Yahushua literally instructed Noah to make so he could save him and his family through the Lord, right? The Lord warned him, and to see a vessel that you could have been on while you're sitting there drowning, man, that's what's gonna happen to you people, man. Except you're not gonna drown. All right, y'all are gonna burn up. Okay, y'all gonna unless you're not in America. If you're not in America, you're over there in some of those other places by those waters. Jamaica, those islands, and Japan or wherever you happen to be, and you're a jig, yeah, man, we'll drown. Those tsunamis are gonna hit. Those are gonna be tall. They're gonna be skyscraper size, man, end day size, something you've never seen. But America, man, we're gonna be hit up with nuclear missiles. Not us individually, but this place. All right, that's what we're gonna have to deal with is being hit with a lot of nukes. But us as Lord willing, the elect, all right, hopeful elect, Lord willing, we're part of the elect. We're not gonna have to deal with none of that. All right, we're gonna be on the chariots and not have to worry about that. People here, that's what America as a nation, that people in America that we're gonna have to we're even us as the elect. That's something we're gonna have to go through. Is seeing, you hear those sirens, wing, and you're probably gonna see them falling. All right, remember we're gonna be saved by the skin of our teeth. So we're probably gonna see those missiles coming and crashing just right about to hit us, and we're gonna be swooped up in those chariots just by the skin of our teeth, man. We're gonna know. We gotta know. Hey, how about Shemi Australia is gonna get me? But it's gonna be tense. All right, it's gonna be tense. And even the elect are going to be, frightened in those days. It's going to be a scary time, man. It's going to be tense, right? You're going to be, gnawing at your jawbone, man. You're going to be grinding your teeth. It's going to be scary, right? So, but these people, but the thing is, we know it. All right, we know those things are coming. All right, the Lord let us know those things. Barak Halbash, I'm shy for that. But these people, we warn them, man. They say, oh, these fucking Hebrew Israelites, these racists, these extremists, these bums, these this, these that, these losers, these grapists, these homophobes. They call us all sorts of names. We're just saying, hey man, you need to get right. It'd be a real damn shame if you just died up and burned up in this place, right? You need to get right. You're Jake, right? You're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, right? You have a chance. Oh, yeah. So you're one of those. Like God only loves us. What they don't, He doesn't love the white. No, right? And I'm not saying you don't like white people. I'm a white person. What are you talking about? Right? I'm not an Edomite, but I'm a white person. Just because you're a white person don't mean you're an Edomite. Just because you're a black person doesn't mean you're a Jake. All right, there are black people out there, so-called black people that are Hamites. Okay, there's so-called black people that look like so-called black people that are Ethiopians. Okay, they're not Jake, they're Ham too. That's just Ham. Okay, Hamites. Okay, and then you're gonna have white-looking people whose dad's dad, all right, was a so-called black person or Issacharite or one of the other tribes, and we're just gonna look white. All right, we just look white, but it all goes to the seed line of our father, right? But it's not about skin color. But yeah, is the Lord gonna save white people? Yeah, yeah, He will. All right, because there's speckled birds, and that's a topic for another day. But He's not. So you say, oh, so he's not going to save them because they're white. No, it's not that He's not going to save them because they're white. Some white people will be saved. All right, Lord willing, I'm hoping I'm part of the elect, and I'm thinking I'm going to be saved, Lord willing. Lord willing, Baba Kasha. Right. So I'm a white person. All right. By definition, you wouldn't see me outside, and you wouldn't call me black. All right, you wouldn't call me a brown person. You call me a white person. I look like a white person, but I'm not an Edomite. A lot of the time, white gets interjected as Edomite, and black gets interjected as Jake. All right, you see white and you think Edomite, and you see black and you think Jake. It's not always the case, man. You have people like me who are white looking that are Israelites. All right, I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' dad, man, is a dark skinned man. And then you look at Patrick Mahomes, and he's pretty light skinned. And then you look at with Brittany. All right, what is her name? Brittany Mahomes. Or, what's that bitch's name? I don't know. I think it's Brittany Mahomes. I think I don't know. Dumb bitch, but she's an Edomite. All right, and look at their kid, man. Their kid just like a little white kid, right? You'd never be able to tell that they're potentially a Jake. All right. And like I said, Mahomes acts weird, but he's got to be a Jake by the way he plays ball, man. The way he's carried the Chiefs, he's got to be a Jake, man. Got to be a Jake. And but he is a little weird. I'll give him that. I even think I'm like, is this guy a Jake? But just by the way he plays, he's got to be a Jake. But yeah, man. And to exceed in greatness like that, to be so good at just like being a quarterback and on top of that being able to run the ball too. You got an arm on you like a motherfucker, being able to run it like fuck it. You say, "Oh fuck it, I know my receivers ain't gonna be able to catch this shit. They've been failing me the whole season. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do this shit myself." That motherfucker got feet, all right, and he's got an arm, man. You can chuck that fucking ball, and when Kelsey comes in, man, it's a dangerous deal. Not so much anymore. They've been sucking, but you know they've been sucking for the last couple of years. Even after we won that first Super Bowl, I'm a KC fan. I'm not the biggest football fan. I watch it passively. But it just that last couple seasons we've been having some real fucking hard issues. Our fucking wide receivers, just like haven't been fucking training. So, but back in the day when Mahomes was really actually he's still good, but the rest of the team's fucking kind of falling apart. And this year, anyway, I don't think we're gonna do too good this year. But um, you would just say that his kids were white, but so and the Pasta Heart, Great Millstone. I'm not part of Great Millstone, but that's where I learned from. I recommend you do the same. I'd be considered affiliate just by teaching the same way to the best of my ability, and I wouldn't consider myself on the same level. Those brothers are very, very knowledgeable, of course. That's something. That's a level of knowledge I aspire to obtain. Um, But yeah, man, it's you would look at someone and say, "Oh, that person's white," but it's not about that, man. It's not about that. So you have a lot of false information going out. A lot of people just scattered in these end days in the mind. They don't know. They're trying to say, "Oh, we're hateful," or this, or it's all about racism, and you can call it racist or whatever you want, but you can't make it a black and a white thing. All right, because there are white people that are Israelites. There's black people that are Edomites. Cycling back to the point that I was originally making, and they try to find anyway. Oh, you're homophobic, or you're racist, or you're a bigot, or you hate women, or it's anything, right? Anything, but just listening to the warning, right? Say, hey man, it's gonna get bad out here. They want to call us every which way. They want to say, oh, you guys are evil, you're wicked. You should do this, you should do that. You should just leave. All right, same thing. It's the same thing that they did with Noah. Noah, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're wasting your time. You're a loser. All you ever do is build that boat. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada. All right. But when time comes, they really wanted to get on that boat. It's the same thing. There's not going to be an ark in this time, but this whole time they've scoffed and they've mocked. They've called us names. All right, the brothers out there that are we're making these lessons. Right, they've called us names, or the people, not just the brothers that are making this lesson, but us that are just in the truth in general. All right, you women, you're brainwashed. You're new with your man. You don't even know your rights as a woman. You Hebrew Israelite woman, you must hate yourself. Really, look, you don't. But when the time comes in the end days and shit really starts getting bad, you're going to be looking for the brothers that were teaching. You're going to be looking for someone that has some type of information, and you're not going to be able to get it because then you're going to be scared, and now you're going to want it. All I'm going to say is it's going to get bad out here, and when it gets real bad, y'all shut the fuck up. All right, I know because I've seen it. Right during the pandemic, it was real fucking quiet. Where were all the scoffers during the pandemic? There was a few, but there wasn't nearly as many as before or now. Y'all got real fucking quiet in during the pandemic. You weren't talking as much, right? That same energy is going to come back on a higher level. You're going to be real scared, and you're going to be talking. You're going to be like, "Oh shit, they might have been right? Because it's getting real bad now. But right now, you're in that peace and that peace and comfort, right? Or when hate this keyboard. There's no tactical. There's no tactical on a chiclet keyboard. I can't know where I'm at with it. I'm used to typing on a raised keyboard, so hate laptops anyway. Blessed to have it, right? But I don't like the way they feel. I much rather have a regular keyboard. Um, Got to put in the magical KJV, or else this literally the site will never come up. All right, they don't come up. It never comes up in the search results. So 1 Thessalonians 5:3 it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So go ahead, you do you. All right, keep on liking this worldly, wicked ass shit. All right, and be down with this clown, like this wicked music. Keep on being wicked. Keep on making more wicked stuff, and we're gonna keep on saying, "Hey, this is signs worth and days. Lord's gonna kill these people. Well, look at how wicked these things got, and you're gonna keep on scoffing out. Look, you can keep on doing your role. We'll keep on doing ours. How about that? You can keep on doing what you're doing. Say we're idiots, and we're this and that, and we'll continue. Saying that you don't understand the truth and the Lord ain't dealing with you, and we'll see just at the end who turns out better. We'll see who ends up because look, everybody called Noah crazy, and then the flood came. So keep it up until these missiles come. Then it's going to get real quiet, and then you're not going to be thinking that same mindset. All right, you're not going to be thinking in that same mindset. So keep that same spirit, man. Keep that same spirit. We want you to be shocked when it happens because then you'll get it. Then you'll get it. Then you'll get, oh, these guys weren't messing around, right? The Lord really does exist. Lord, you can see the Lord exists, all right, but you didn't want to believe it. But that's a lesson, right? It's like a little rambly as it is these late nights. I hate to be it, hate to do it when I get tired, man. I don't know. I just get rambly. I lose my train of thought a lot more, but got to make my lesson. Um, like I said, it is these late nights. I fucking hate doing it. I want to find a way to start making my lesson a little bit earlier. so I'm not so rambly like this. So Slovakia. But yeah, man, this place is gonna get wickeder, wicker. There's gonna be some new song, a new game that comes out. We don't even know what the fuck's gonna come, man. We don't even know. All right, probably gonna be some combination of the most evil shit you've ever seen, and we're gonna keep on rebuking it. We're gonna keep on saying, "Hey, look at this evil shit. Look at how evil this place has got. This is why you don't want to stay here." And and we know it's only gonna get worse, right? Because through Yahweh Shemiao Shai, we've been guided to the scriptures. We know, right? We have this information. We know it's gonna get worse. So I'm gonna close out there. All right. Lord was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Makakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Almost out of here. Don't be surprised when you see some crazy, absolute heinous thing on TV or a show or a game or a movie, because, hey, man, it's to be expected these days. But it's still vexing nonetheless. So until next one, Lord willing, we're almost out of here. Shalom.